What's going on, guys? Wonder Woman. Critically acclaimed and dominated the box office. So, what does that mean going forward? We're going to talk about that today with What's Next for Wonder Woman. And we have a wonderful panel.
Pun.
Boom. To talk about it with. First, she's the founder of Geek Bomb. Welcome, Maude Garrett.
Thank you, Hal. I'm excited to be here.
He's an old friend of the show, emphasis on old. He's the writer of Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77. Welcome back, Mark Andraco.
Thanks for having me, Hal. I can't wait to talk about this movie.
Heck yeah. And she's the host of TV Fights and one of the co-hosts of The Tomorrow Show, Roxy Stryer. Welcome to Screen Junkies.
Thanks for letting me on the show.
Of course. So you guys, first off, what do we think of the movie?
I've seen it 5 times, so I hated it. No, I love it. It's just a glorious movie. It's a really great pizza, but it's also incredibly nutritious. It feels the closest equivalent when people say, "What is it like?" I say it's like watching Raiders of the Lost Ark the first time.
I've never cried in a fight sequence before. And in these fight scenes, and when all slow-mo, and then all these like big, amazing things that are happening, I got very emotional.
What did you connect to as you were watching that?
This was a time where we saw probably the most females we've ever seen in a fight sequence before. We saw that they paid so much love and attention to detail with these sequences. The way that they slowed it down, it was so empowering.
I completely agree, and I cried also during the first training scenes because I don't think it can be emphasized enough how we have never had this.
No.
I've never had that. I've never looked at a screen and had it be a bunch of kick-butt women all flipping off of horses, throwing their daggers into the ground, and I couldn't even believe how much I was missing that before I actually got to see it.
How important was this movie for the DCEU?
I mean, it was probably the make or break.
Yeah.
I think more than the box office, I think the reviews are what is making Warner Brothers executives really happy today. Because this is not only the best of the DC movies, this is arguably one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Yeah.
There was so much pressure on this movie that I feel like people almost were setting it up to fail. And the fact that the reviews are as strong as they are, it does everything for the DCEU moving forward. It means that people are excited for Justice League just because Wonder Woman is in it.
And thinking about the next time we see Wonder Woman on screen in her own film, where do we want to go with Wonder Woman? What do we want to see her do?
I hope they don't keep revisiting the Greek mythology like they did with Superman with Kryptonians. I want it contemporary. I want it to lean into being a superhero movie. I want the cheetah. You know, how great would Charlize be as the cheetah? How great would Angelina Jolie be as Dr. Barbara Minerva? I want Giganta.
Let's unpack a couple of those characters. Tell us about Cheetah.
She's all rage and anger and animalisticness, where Wonder Woman is peace and love.
Sure.
So she's basically Wonder Woman's Joker in a lot of ways.
Cheetah, other than Ares, Cheetah is Wonder Woman's big enemy. So I've just heard from every single person, it's got to be Cheetah. On top of the fact that Charlize would be amazing and people want to see that Patty Jenkins Charlize team up again. Everybody wants it, and a female villain. So unlike Dr. Psycho, who I actually would love to see.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Get Peter Dinklage and Charlize Theron in the second movie.
That would be amazing.
Oh my God.
So how about I satisfy both of those?
Do it, girl.
We get the Dr. Psycho with the Peter Dinklage side of things, but we enter Veronica Cale as basically, she's kind of like the Lex Luthor of Superman. So she's all about science. She's all about, studies. She's got a pharmaceutical company, and
that's how you know she's a villain.
Yeah, right. It's all about drugs. But she uses Dr. Psycho to manipulate situations and to turn the tides on Wonder Woman.
You hit the nail on the head talking about Veronica Cale being the Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor and Superman and Veronica Cale and Wonder Woman is kind of like Salieri to Wonder Woman's Mozart, where Wonder Woman and Superman are just this. This is who they are. And Lex Luthor and Veronica Cale have to work really hard for the success. We've never seen two women who are equals fighting. It's always about a boy or about their being manipulated by a man, and having Veronica Cale be the one that's moving the chess pieces.
Right?
Once again, I mean, I got goosebumps. Let's see this movie now.
What do you guys think about Medusa?
Again, we're playing into this whole, we've got two women back with each other. And, I think the Gorgon mythology is, like, phenomenal. It's fun.
Another thing that's interesting, though, is because Ares tells us he has taken out all of the other gods, it trickies things.
And that's canon.
Can I use that word?
It trickies things?
It
Sure.
makes things
Complicates.
tricky.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
He could be lying. We don't know. He's also lying. He potentially is lying about her origin story, so he might be lying about this as well.
I'm going to throw some other names of potential villains. I mean, I think Cheetah's top of the list,
Yes.
and you guys have named some great ones, including Medusa. What about Circe the Sorceress?
I say back away from Cersei, just let Game of Thrones run its course first before you start mixing that up.
Yeah, the name thing is in this day and age an issue. People are going to go, oh, they're just ripping off Game of Thrones because people don't know anything about history.
No joke.
No joke. I know that like we're saying it in a joking manner, but seriously,
No.
people will get confused.
What about The Circle?
Love this.
The Circle were Gail Simone's run, I believe it was 4 Amazons who were supposed to kill baby Diana. The only problem with that is I like the Amazons being kind of an idyllic society. By having Amazons who were traitors, who were manipulated, it kind of, no matter how well it's done, the subtext of that is, once again, a group of women sort of eating their own. We can have women outside that. You can have a Cheetah or a Veronica Cale.
Kind of like the Four Horsemen. We kind of saw that with X-Men Apocalypse, and it's like if you have another 4 coming out.
But these 4 would do something.
I don't think we can. That's true.
Shots
I don't
fired.
think we can do that contemporarily though, because what were they doing all this time?
That's true.
Yeah. What about Artemis?
Once again, it's the Circle again. It's another Amazon who takes up the mantle. Artemis in the comic book took over for Wonder Woman when she lost the mantle, and you can't in your second movie have your character lose their mantle.
No way. And people were so upset when Wonder Woman lost it.
Yeah.
We are not touching that. I don't think so.
I agree.
Makes total sense. So I feel like Vegas odds right now are heavily on Cheetah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot. You guys are gonna cringe when I say this, but about Egg Foo coming back.
There's
doing,
no
way, right?
There's no way a bright yellow Chinese egg is going to be made into a movie character.
No joke, I've heard an outcry on Twitter from people being like, this is what needs to happen. I'm very confused by it, but I just wanted to throw it out there that people are rooting for it.
Let's look forward in another way. How much does Wonder Woman legitimize the prospect of female superheroes getting their own standalone films?
So Elektra definitely didn't do it.
Yeah.
Catwoman certainly didn't do it. Supergirl definitely didn't do it. Wonder Woman, finally, we've done something right. Now, those movies did not fail because they had a female lead.
Right.
Those movies failed for many other reasons, but people have used that against it for so long. Yes. Now, you no longer can say a movie with a female superhero will not make money.
It's great because it's going to open the door for a lot of these female lead projects to be greenlit, but it also sets the bar really, really. I mean, there's going to be a lot of conversations at Marvel and Disney now about how do we keep up, because Marvel didn't make Deadpool or Logan or Wonder Woman. But they laid the groundwork to enable those movies, so they need to like step up their game.
2 things that we discovered from Patty Jenkins with this one is that hopefully in the future, no longer will it be a risk to hire a female director. And the second thing that we found out from this is that when DC, the Warner Brothers studio, steps back and lets the director make a movie, good things can happen.
The thing that's also really fascinating about Patty on this movie is she didn't decide to make Wonder Woman as a career move. She made this movie because she loves this movie just as much as she loved making Monster. So hire, I don't care what the gender or the race or the creed of a director, hire directors who are passionate about these projects and love the characters and want to make character-driven entertainment.
Thank you for taking us on a deep dive of Wonder Woman, where she might go and what it means for the DCEU and filmmaking in general. What did you think of Wonder Woman? And who do you think she should take on next? Where should she go? Let us know in the comments section below. We want to know. I want to thank Maude Garrett, Mark Andraco, and Roxy Stryer for coming in and breaking it down for us. Fun conversation. And I want to thank you for watching. I'm Hal Rudnick. Hit me up on Twitter. Bye-bye.